What's up, Leo? This is Brandy. If you're new, hey, welcome. Pretty straightforward up front, but this is a general. You got to put it how it is, how it pertains to you. All right, so we're going to pull one main energy for, the month. All right, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If you don't know anything about that, you can go to astrology.com and look up your birth chart. Right now, it's very powerful. Black Moon, Lilith, and Taurus. And guess what? That's me. So, okay. All right. Come on, what do you got for Leo? Spirit, Archangels, Guides. All right. Yeah, we're having a lot of mood swings for sure, because it's like you can feel the energy shifting. Mood swings galore, changing an attitude non-stop, revolution. It's a revolution. We're going to read it because this is, like I said, a general. It'll be a little bit for everyone pertaining to whatever area of your life, love, life, money. Okay. All right. The eclipse. Something's been hidden for you, for sure. Okay. That's me intuitively, but here's the book. Revolution is actually something that starts in individual hearts. I like that quote. This spells out change. Eclipse is both solar and lunar, the earliest forecasting tools used in astrology. Through these dramatic sky events, the ancients understood major transformations were about to happen. The eclipses looked so dramatic and ancient people greatly feared them. Since during an eclipse, the sun and moon give the impression they have disappeared. They associate them with serpents. They believe devouring the lights in the sky. Okay. It occurs during the new moon, which is right now, I believe. When the sun and moon are in opposition but perfectly aligned, for a brief time, the moon obscures the sun, blocking it from view. It is a blackout. It means we must focus on what is directly in front of us. Usually a change or a shock is in store, which may not be welcome, but is necessary to move forward. Okay? You can expect swift changes that end one chapter and start something new. You may have felt something would eventually happen, not having recently paid much attention to the situation. Then you're presented with a shock or jolt, and you're going to be reeling over the sudden change. This upheaval takes away what has been familiar and safe so you can embark on new territories or even venture to a strange new terrain. It will be daunting, whatever task this is. It may seem like a negative at first, a divorce, an end to a relationship, being forced to move, even losing your job. Eclipses tend to affect the relationships foremost. However, you may soon see stressors and upsetting changes in the relational supports you have counted on. Whatever reason, they may be taken away, either for the time being, but perhaps permanently. So one thing you can count on is that your life will go through a complete rearrangement. The energies are saying that it's necessary to be cruel before being kind. Damn. Eclipses are not always about the downside. You may find yourself having to dive in, change something, fix something, or create something you hadn't really thought of but will work out brilliantly, that ends up transforming your life in all the ways you've hoped for, maybe beyond what you could actually think of. When the solar eclipse comes up, it implies you are being forced to make a decision and act on it. There will be no stepping away from that, even though you may not have been consciously aware of just how much certain issues were not working. It's time to look ahead and finally resolve what has held you back. It's time to begin anew. It's time to begin a new chapter of the book of life. I also got someone has been relying heavily on substances. Okay, and that has held you back. That has blocked out the vision. That has made you very hesitant and just not knowing where to go. So please stop. Okay, so this is, the rapid change. It's a life path. It's making challenges come out that you have to face, that you can no longer run away from. It's the change in job or home. It's major, major adjustments in your home and family situation for you to break old patterns. I think that's why I got someone's been, during this whole lockdown nonsense, has been relying on substances. Okay, that's a very bad old pattern that we have to, release. Yeah, because they're pushing you to do that. This is something about the self-mastery, the shadow, being lost and in the dark, So you have to face what has to be faced for you to reinvent your life and be thrown off balance. So, you know, you can start that new. So you become aware. So you become present in your life. It's required. There's no longer hiding anymore. It's required to wake up. Okay? Things that you've relied on, yeah, that's going away. That's going away. It's like things you've relied on to get through the day has been definitely hurting your health, your relationship, your money. Yeah, you've not mastered any technology. You've not went on any trips probably recently. You haven't lived for yourself. Let's see if what has to do with our relationships, since it says it mostly affects those. Archangel's Guide, Sun, Rising, Venus for Leo for the 5th and 7th. Damn, son. All those came out. All right. We have pitiful and disconnect. I mean, the pitiful one is you being in the dark. You know what I mean? You're in the dark and you're not sure what to do. Come on now. Focus. Focus. I want to focus. Alright, well, whatever. Anyways, you get what I mean. Like, he's sitting here in this dark, dark home, house, hallway. You know what I mean? Like, they've literally rattled their world. They're at the bottom. They're at rock bottom right now. That's what I feel. Rock bottom. Because we have refused to face those challenges. Someone is being arrested. His hands are behind his back. That is drug use. That is the rock bottom. Do you see what I'm saying? Please be very careful. You will be disconnecting from friends, family, loved ones. Alright? This is a time of self-mastery, self-reflection. You may feel very lost. Alright? But this is, like I said, necessary to be cruel before being kind. Then we have guarded. But we have the beautiful butterfly sitting on the skeleton, right? The skeleton's head. Death and birth, transformation. That's what I get from this. It's the spiral. You see the spiral in the side of the skull here? That's a pattern that you constantly repeated. You've burnt bridges everywhere you went. You know what I mean? This is to do with the relationship, whether that's you or vice versa. But it's too guarded. It's like once you throw the match, you throw it. And it's not serving you. That's why they're like, we got to break this pattern, man. You're never getting out of it. You're constantly, you know, bringing trouble, bringing riffraff, bringing the wrong people, all that nonsense. It's very childish energy, whoever you're dealing with. Right. I'm going to go ahead and show this one. Excuses. Someone constantly makes excuses for why they can't do something. Why they can't show up. Why they can't get a job. Why they can't do this. Why they can't stop using drugs. And they literally lock themselves out from the rest of the world. Nothing but excuses. We can't do that no more. They're not letting you. And you know why? It's because you've lost your faith. There is no faith. You don't pray to anything. You don't have any hope. You sit in the dark room. Okay, I don't know who that's for, but that shit's sad. Okay, they're asking you for faith. Whoever you're dealing with, yeah, they're not genuine. They are not genuine. Sorry. They kind of feed on this pitiful energy, Leo. The Eight of Cups. Being forced to wake up spiritually. Your spirit has been in the dark. You have been doing things you should not have done. You have not been living a fulfilling life. They are pushing you. They are pushing you to open your eyes and walk away from these relationships, from these jobs that are keeping you, you know, these abuse, whatever. This is to do with money. This is to do with being single. This is a business owner. This is the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Let's go into 8 to 9. We have the Knight of Cups. Okay, the Knight of Cups here is giving a message to be carried to someone. For that relationship to move up. The new start, the fresh start. The breakdown for the build up, but it's not immediate. It's not immediate. I'm literally getting like 8 to 9 months of you disconnecting to really self-master this, or you're incarcerated, one of the two. Alright, your emotions are completely out of whack here. We got the King of Cups. So you could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Yeah, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Alright. And they're making your emotions and everything just out of whack. Your whole lifestyle is out of whack. It's not just them, because that's an excuse. It's you allowing that to affect you to make more excuses. Gosh. Okay. Okay. Yeah. This is time to move, time to get a better job, time to really put that effort into motion. You got to leave that chaos behind you. You got to leave that old life behind you. You have to leave those substances behind you. It's time to get into a program. It's time to meet new people. It's time to apply for new jobs. It's time to, yeah, it's time to heal. That's the world, and that is the star. That is healing after everything has collapsed that you have to rebuild. Okay, that's Sagittarius and Aquarius. These are all signs I know you may be interested in, but that is healing, being on the stage, being noticed. So is that, and travel, and beginning anew. It's a cycle. It's the snake that eats its tail. You know what I mean? Are we going to break that? Are we going to heal? Okay, Leo. We have Leo with strength showing up here for you, for pitiful. They're saying you've really got to get up. You've got to give yourself the courage to stand up and stop making excuses to be pitiful. You have to open your eyes and get out of the dark place. Okay, we also have death at the bottom here. Please be careful. Right? This is ushering in that change. Is ushering it in. If you're not careful, what I'm feeling, these readings have been pretty powerful and kind of dark this round, no joke. And I think that's because I'm a Taurus and this is my new 7 years, which is now like going 6.5 years, and this is my personal Phoenix moment. I think that's why this is kicking in, because it's a new moon in Taurus. And someone needs to watch their ass and not let the world get to them, or you will not have a life anymore. This is asking you to get up and make those changes. Yeah. Being in the dark, letting your subconscious, your paranoia, your fear run the show. Right? Letting your emotions best you. This is the moon. This is Pisces, Cancer. There's a lot of water energy here with emotions, so maybe you've got a lot of water in your chart too. You know what I mean? Maybe your moon's in Leo. I don't know. Only you do. They're trying to shed some light for you because they can't give you everything, because then you won't go through the challenges that you're supposed to, because it's something about always hiding. Okay, so I was asking about the disconnect. This is the Six of Pentacles, and in this Six of Pentacles, this person started feeding the birds to make themselves feel better, but the birds are never satisfied, right? Now it's a daunting task. Their mouths are always open. It's no longer feeling good. You don't know how to stop. Where do we stop the madness? I feed myself this to suffice this. I take this to suffice this pain. I don't go to the doctor. I don't do this. You've got to walk away from those people that are kind of, the Ten of Swords, the end, the painful end, so we can heal, so we can start processing. The rock bottom I was talking about. being alone to do this. You got to walk away from those people. You have death again there. The Emperor. Guarded. Strong. You don't need over here. Yeah. But we also have the Magician and the Seven of Swords. You know what that means? This is a very tyrant, manipulative, lying, sneaky energy. This person, I feel, this repetitive cycle as you get with these people. You get with these people that have these same traits, the same dominant traits in a partner, and it never turns out well, right? Or you hang out with these friends, or you hang out with... That's a coon, by the way, and I have nothing against coons, but they are garbage rummagers. They are the ones that are in the back alleys. You get what I'm saying here? Stop. These people are low level. And that's what makes you feel empowered, because you don't want to get better. Okay, or you don't want to change. It's too many excuses. No offense, I told you guys, I'm pretty brutal here. If it's not you, well, it's the person you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? We gotta stop making excuses. At some point, we have to look at our own shit behavior. I used to run from my spirituality because I couldn't sleep, because they would bother me. So I would drink, or I would do, you know, things to put me out of it so I could get some rest, or, you know, and then when I finally stopped running from it through all the trauma, I run that show now. Understand me? What's a personal message for Leo? Please, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What's a personal message for Leo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Oh. Faith in the process. I felt it. I felt that. I'm going to go with that. Someone had a Red Rider when they were younger with their sibling. Used to get pulled around in it. I felt that just now. It's very family linked. It's like going it alone. Someone couldn't do it for you anymore. Alright, this is, like I said earlier, someone had lost faith. Someone has not been praying. Someone has not believed it. You know what I mean? Shit happens. Everyone has really bad stuff that happens to them in life that is not fair. People die. That's not fair. You know what I mean? Things happen to us. It's not fair. But do we really look at the cycles that brought us to that point? I could sit here and say, if they hadn't pulled me over, I wouldn't have had this. Well, if I hadn't been driving with no insurance, I would have never went to jail for a warrant, right? Because I was driving no insurance. I got an insurance ticket. I never paid. You see what I'm saying? At some point, we have to start taking that responsibility. This is 32. I'm going to read it. Sorry. Yeah, this is like stripping everything away. Rock bottom. Alright. No matter how powerful we are, how much courage and strength we have, there are times when we can't quite move ourselves along to the next phase of life or creative exploration. At such times, we need some divine intervention, a little help in pulling our trolley along, so to speak. When we are at the edge of our own limits, we have no more personal resources, we might be left with only one spiritual power, that of faith. Fortunately, that is enough. As unlikely as it may seem, the invisible help from the universe is often more powerful than the physical efforts of 1,000 men. That is because the invisible help is not limited by physical laws. It sure is not. It can shift, bend, and move in ways that defy limitation. It can affect, evoke, and influence situations through invisible but undeniably persuasive means. You are in a situation where you cannot set right the course of events by yourself. It's not an indication that you have done something wrong, nor does this suggest that you are not strong enough. It's a sign there is something bigger unfolding in your life, and the willpower will be supplemented by the power of life itself. Sometimes a bigger plan needs to manifest for the benefit of humanity and the earth. You need to shift your perspective to realize that you are part of a greater unfoldment of life. Your individual life serves the greater plan, that you are not separate from its genius. This is what's happening now. You happen to be instrumental in the greater plan. You need to accept your position and be moved, while also being empowered and protected as you make personal progress through your role in the greater scheme. It's a time for humility, to be humble and to trust. You need complete faith in this process. The events are happening whether you like it or not. There is nothing to worry about, but you will be moved. With the most grace and assistance through your faithful surrender. Ironically, it's through complete surrender and faith that we become most empowered, when we're no longer trying to impede the perfection of the plan, when we are aligned. It is not a joke at your expense. They are not carelessly tossing you about as though you mean nothing. Okay? You need to have faith. You need to be curious. You need to take a moment to realize that. The next chapter of your life story is coming. You can't do it on your own. It's too big. You may feel as though the wheels of your trolley are coming off, but understand the voice of life is now coming straight to your heart. I have resources you know not of. For I love you and I'm guiding you into that is all rightfully yours. I'm sorry. All right. Tell me about this. And then we'll get a spirit message and we'll wrap this up. If you need a personal down below, go ahead. Hit that subscribe. I rely heavily on you guys, and since I'm very honest and don't feed you rainbows, kittens, and twin flame bullshit for your money, well, you know the rest. It is your younger self looking at your older self and literally being paralyzed about what you have not accomplished, and therefore you have lost the faith and you have gotten off track. You have gotten off track on your goals. You have turned your back on them. It's literally a shift here that I'm feeling. The person that you will be in the future that you cannot see. Okay? Cannot see that clearly, which is bountiful. The current, which is the younger you looking at the you now that's withered and drained and worried and repeating, working on the same piece, never getting anywhere because you've gotten off track. This is a tower, but this is a side that you're about to have a crash because you've not been going the course that you need. You are definitely off track because you've been wearing a mask, and that mask is being shattered. You've not been living for you. You've been hiding behind certain things to mask that and making excuses. Okay. The Ten of Wands, which is that burden. Yet again, there's that statue. There's that statue. It's the younger him. Forever in that place. Day and night, repeating the same cycles. We've worn the grass down. We've worn the grass down, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Here's the moon again. Okay? Paranoia, fear. Letting our emotions run the show. Yeah. You are about to go through a lot. He's weathered. Same dogs are here. They're older too. They're younger here and they're older here. There is that transformation, that awakening, that aha moment where the sun will shine. Okay? You definitely need to go into a retreat. You definitely need to get better. You definitely need to stop relying on those things, those excuses. Look at that. The fire's burning in the background. But he is not strong enough to get up to go do that because you have to take care of yourself first before you can go help put that fire out. Okay, what you've been doing is not working. Like I said, the same repetitive thing. This is all the second time we've got the Nine of Pentacles here. You may thrive at night in a job by yourself, but you have to put that work in first. Maybe you do better at night. This is the future. Like, their backs are to you because you have to realize that. Yeah, you have to stop being indecisive, and you have to stop banking on that old pain You have to release that old pain. Okay? You have to release that old pain. You have to. Okay? Sometimes shit happens. Okay? I feel it's really linked to family. You've been not receiving any messages because you've been stuck there. Alright, let's get the Spirit card. This is the longest, I think, of the readings. Okay, what else do you have to add for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, please? Dearest you, on Earth, humans learn about life by telling the stories and creating new ones based on shared experiences. Eventually, after repeating one often enough, it becomes your main story that you use to define yourself and the world. So get to the answers that you're seeking. You must get vulnerable and hear your story when you tell it. Ask why you tell this. Is this true? What else can be true? Can you see the truth that Spirit is in all things? Do you see how other stories overlap and intertwine? Spirit love stories, they're like blueprints for co-creation. So tell the one we know to be true about you. A story of courage, gratitude, and honesty. Tell an empowered story about well-being, wisdom, and grace. You'll experience your world according to the story you tell about it, so make sure the stories you're proud of. That's saying stop telling these victimized stories. Stop making those excuses, right? Stop making excuses for why you can't change or why you're here. Yes, not everyone can be a millionaire. Not everyone can do that, but someone can definitely take the step to making their lives better and stop repeating the old habits, the old patterns. Get a little more faith back in. That's why you've been feeling that way, because you no longer have faith. You no longer have faith. And that's the problem. And this is why you're in the dark place.